of your way here. Whoops. We wanted to sit down and talk with him about his career and how he got started and what's going on in the present and maybe for the future as well. And we're also going to talk
over the 88X, and my dad always helped him. And from the time I was a little kid, I was drawing pictures of the little coupe, and around Grandview from the time it opened, we would go down and watch the races there, and up at Anthracite. And so I was in. He sold his last car. And then when I was 16, he bought me a brand new Tobias frame to start racing, and Mom said, as long as I lived under that roof, I wasn't going to race. He ended up selling it. So I didn't build my first modified that I drove myself until 93. So, and from that time, from 75 to 93, I rarely ever even went to the races.
numbers like 22, 23, 24. How did that all get started?
Basically, when we were talking to father-in-law about the stock car and all that, we'd say, just pick a number, and we picked 24.
And Jim Summers drove the 23 car, and Earl drove the 24. And then when he started racing, he used the number 23. And then as the years progressed up until like around 77 or so, he went and we put a B on his number to give the 23B, indicating that it was 23's brother.
Yeah, ready.
Yes. The
So what we did for
cooperation was
years.
really great.
Yeah, and then John Dietrich, he was our painter. He painted our cars for us.
Yeah.
And I think Dennis, you came with the pipe bender to make the roll cages.
Yes.
And that's,
Yeah.
cause we got a crew.
Oh, that's when we became big time.
Oh yeah, top of the line then.
Yeah, we didn't have to hide in the back of the pit. We were able to show that car off with a
Nice roll bar.
Fences were running it at the time. They were the promoters. And Big Diamond got rained out on a Friday. And we decided to go up there because we had some old dirt track tires we wanted to burn off.
They were hard as a rock.
They was real hard. You couldn't use them. So we went up to Evergreen, the asphalt track, just to burn the tires off.
That car went around there like
Squeal.
And Jimmy Spencer wanted to sell us 4 tires right away.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's in like 77, 78.
Yeah.
the 1 year we lost the championship by 20 points. And the story about it, he got a flat and came into the pit, and we changed the tire like that. And he went to go back out on the track, and there was a wrecker blocking the way, right? So he had to back up and turn around and go down another lane, and they charged him with reckless driving in the pits. So he couldn't race for a week, and that's what gave the championship to Billy Schinkel.
Uh-huh.
It was ours, but we lost it through that Reckless driving.
In the pits.
And they said I was nuts. I remember my first one, they put the cage in all for me. I had a 68 Roadrunner. Me and Dennis, we got it up in Tremont, remember?
Yep.
And I have trouble with the transmission. Well, I'm a young dumb kid, and I'm in the garage. I go down and get a transmission put in. Well, I never realized I had to put the right converter in with. I'd hook it all up, put in gear, knock it right out. I think I did that 3 times before I learned. And then the first night we took it up, it was the first year of the street stocks. It was into the season, I don't know how far, but John won, Earl got second, and I got third.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I went for 3 weeks or more without a dent on the car, and then all hell broke loose on that 5th week. And it made it through the end, but it looked pretty bad.
Yes, the early this year. I didn't like that. Last year he had a schedule like every 45 minutes to an hour. And that's why he didn't get like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And this year he's not against it. The only other thing yesterday was the sign about Peter. That John Peter is using yesterday.
I liked it, even on it, Linda's, anything else, but he has it full of junk cars now, that's what's there, you know. And Linda's Speedway is run by Herman's daughter and his son-in-law, that's how that's run.
I know they originally said Linda's they wanted to build as a half mile, but then it's the quarter mile.
Yeah, well, they didn't, I guess the property wasn't big enough to do that. It was really funny how I wound up there. Larry and I did not get along for a while with racing, okay? We sort of hammered on each other a little bit. And his dad came to me one day and told me he was building a track if I would think of coming up there and stuff. And he was really nice. And Larry and I really became best of friends. And when he opened the track, he asked me if I would talk to the guys from Fredericksburg if they would come up on the off night when they race up there and to race with him and stuff. And I did. And what was really unique about Linda's, I wound up having a welding truck. So my welding truck went to the races every week when I went. So I charged everybody $5 for the welding like they do at the tracks today. So I was making money welding and I was making money racing. Not that either of them paid and I got rich, but you got a couple bucks out of it. You know? And that was unique. And then if something break or during the week Herman needed something fixed up there at Linda's, I would go out and fix it for him and I wouldn't charge him nothing, you know. So I had it made there, you know, both tracks. And then the promoters that were at Fredericksburg were the two guys, they were really good there too.
All right, we're here this afternoon with Mike Radocha. Drove the 454 at many different tracks, had a lot of success out of the Nescajon and Coaldale area. Mike, the first question would be, how did you get started in racing?
I got started in racing, two fellas, if you look through the history books and stuff, one was Steve Tintilla, the other one was John Surma. Stevie ran a late model and a hobby stock, won 2 features of Big Diamond. John Surma went on to be a super sportsman owner, had Smokey Stellbaker in his car, Joey Biazzi, George Ryden, successful, and they were sneaking me in the pits of Big Diamond in 1973. I was only 13 years old. That's how Big Diamond became my home.
We were talking that earlier with Wilmer about the cost back then compared to now, the pit licenses and the car registration and all, and how much more difficult it is now to run your own team. And your
Absolutely. Just even the tow there, you know what I mean? $4 a gallon versus back in the day when gas was 70 cents, you know? Race fuel was $2-3, $4 even. And now, you know, we were cutting the race fuel with 94 because we had a Sunoco station, you know what I mean? I didn't have to buy a lot of race fuel. And tires, same thing. We spend more time on the track tires, going through them with a groover to keep them sharp, and I hated buying tires. That was another thing in asphalt. I buy tires with no tread, and they're telling me they're no good, and they look the same as when I bought them. It's tough. We built a lot of our stuff and gathered a lot. And the only thing I used to spend a lot of money on is getting the cars lettered and painting them.
Well, I remember
Run them, and I'm putting a rollback together. It might happen somewhere one day, but I bought a '67 Camaro that's all restored, so I
that'll
go
keep you busy.
car show, so I don't have to clean it, smash it. I thank you all. I appreciate everything you do, and it's the greatest thing in the world to be involved in this. I never thought in 1982 that it would go this far. I hope you all keep doing it and be looking forward to the next induction class.
Next year. All right, well, thank you for being here.
All righty.
We'll start off here with the gentleman here on the end. Introduce yourself.
Rick Hendricks.
Oh, Abby Hendricks.
Charlie Hendricks. I'm Catherine Brett's sister.
So many years we go back. I mean, we go back to 1972, the first Big Diamond race. Rick Hendricks, the winner, and all these generations of racers down to the 4th generation now. Could you talk about Rick's career and all the things that he accomplished over the years?
I really don't remember any of it.
I guess not.
Because I don't think he raced much after I was born. Things I do remember is him sneaking me into Reading Fairgrounds, hitting me up on top of the camper up over the roof, snuck me in that way. and just going to NASCAR races with him and stuff like that, and him coming over and giving me a hard time for not greasing ball joints on my race car and stuff like that. But as far as actually seeing him race, I don't remember seeing him race. I was too young.
So did you get involved in racing through him, or is it something that you just wanted to get into?
I don't think he didn't have a direct role in me getting involved in racing, but it was just something that we did, and we always liked. Probably Joey Zaborski had more to do with me getting involved in racing. I used to help him I used to live in Aberdeen, Maryland, and as soon as school was out Friday afternoon, jump in my car, drive up to Big Diamond, help Joey Zaborski at Big Diamond on a Friday night. And then once he got out of it, my brother Joey wrecked a 1973 Monte Carlo into a tree. We straightened it out, and that was my first race car.
That would be the road runner of that.
Yep.
So you, Big Diamond, you had a lot of success there. You ran Penn National for a little bit too.
Yep. Always wrecked at Penn National. Never. Or had
Fast
bad
track.
luck. Bad luck. Took the white flag, leading probably 3 times, and never made it back to the checker. But Big Diamond, Sealands Grove. I drove one of Donnie Murphy's cars at Baps a few times. But basically Big Diamond.
Yeah, but you never.
You sure? Yeah, everybody left, this was arranged, like a dozen cars.
A lot of young drivers started in that. Worked their way up.
If you look at the guys that are really good modifieds now, started in slings, because I didn't drive one, but they're impossible to work on. I always tell everybody, if kindergarten had a fabrication class, it would be building slingshots, because they're a great starter class, but they're just slapped together. They have a bind in them, you can't get it out. They're a nightmare. But the guys that run modifieds now started in slingshots, because if you can drive a slingshot, you can basically drive anything, because they're so hard to drive. Like Mahaney, Billy Pouch Jr., Tyler Dibble, the list goes on and on. The people that are really good at modifieds of the next tier, 25 to 35 in that age bracket. I mean, all of them came from slingshots.
Truck or their car getting ready.
But about the records you kept and the price of entering the race.
A quarter. And some of them wouldn't even pay the quarter. And there's they would come in, walk in, climb up the trees, because the cars went around where the woods was. You'd see them falling out of the trees. But there were that many people there that they had a stadium out on that was Route 21 then, I guess.
122.
Whatever it was, 122.
61.
It was fun. Some funny things happened. It was like, I'm trying to think of a comedian that did things with cars, like the clowns and stuff like that. I mean, one guy lost a tire and wheel, and he went into the cornfield. They would not let him go into the cornfield to get his wheel tire.
All of you, thanks for what you've done for racing all over the years. We certainly appreciate it, and thanks for coming on here today.
Thanks, sir.
I have it in my